What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I'm going to be doing an easy tutorial, particularly aimed at beginners for the Plus500 trading platform, okay? So guys, I personally do not have an account with Plus500. However, I have done a video in the past where I basically look through the positives and negatives with the platform. I will link that video right here, so feel free to have a look at that video, if you have time. But guys, as I said, because I don't actually have an account myself, basically once you come to this Plus500 homepage, the first thing I will recommend, and it's exactly what I've done for the purpose of this video, is to try the free demo. Okay, so that allows us to play with fake money. So what I'll do is I'll click into that now. So you're just going to want to, put an email in. That's the only details that are required from you. Just to have the demo account. You don't actually need to put in any personal details. And as I said, it's all fake money. Because I am in Australia, that money will automatically be in Australian dollars. So I've had a little muck around in the past 15 minutes, but effectively once you sign in initially, you will have a flat rate of $50,000, which is obviously fake. So I have made one small trade, but guys, just looking at the homepage here, there are a few different things I want to sort of touch on straight away. And the good thing I feel with Plus500 is that it allows you to really diversify your portfolio. So it enables you to tap into many different markets, from the NASDAQ, the FTSE, the ASX, countries such as Japan. There's many different markets around the world. So from that standpoint, you're able to diversify your portfolio quite well. The other thing it also really opens up for you is not only can you invest in, individual stocks, but it actually allows you to invest in things like crypto, Forex, actually invest in commodities as well. And as I mentioned earlier, it enables you to get through many different countries. So as you can see here, Germany, UK, Netherlands, the US 500, and then, it'll also show you some popular individual stocks as well. So, Netflix, Microsoft, Apple. So, you're certainly not spoiled for choice. You're certainly spoiled for choice, I should say. So that's the first thing I will say with Plus500. The second thing I will say, and it's very, very important to remember before you actually start investing real money with Plus500, that you're not dealing with your usual type of trading. So if you're used to something like a ComSec or a self-wealth, this is very different. So Plus500 are strictly a CFD trader. So that stands for contract for difference, guys. So when you actually purchase something or you make a purchase for a particular stock or a commodity, whatever it is, you do not actually own that stock, okay? So you're not actually buying something. What you're doing is stipulating on whether the price of that stock, commodity, whatever it is going to go up or down. And that's simply all you're participating in. You're participating in a contract for difference. You as an individual investor will not own anything. Okay, so I'll touch on that a little bit later, but just before you actually get involved, you need to understand the difference between, whether you're actually going to buy something to hold and actually own, or whether you're going to engage in a contract for difference. Google it, talk to people about it, but be 100% familiar with exactly what you're participating in before you put money in. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to just have a look around the platform. On this main pop-out, from the left here, you'll see the main page that we're on now is called Trade. The next one is Open Positions. So that means how many contract for difference you're actually engaged in right now and how many investments you have currently active. Orders. So this is basically going to be where you will place an order if a particular stock is out of hours. So if I'm looking to make a purchase in the NASDAQ in the American market, and the actual American market is closed right now, the hours of that particular market are shut, then I can place an order. That order will go in here, and then basically that order will get processed once the actual market is open. And also, guys, this tab here called closed position. So they're the previous trades that you've made, but they are no longer active. Okay. Now, if you go here as well, you can actually click real money, switch to real money. So you can actually, if you have a proper account, you can actually switch between the demo account and your real money account. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to click no. Okay. Now let's actually show you guys how to search for a stock. So up here, there's some of the previous stocks I've searched for. So let's just go with 0 at the top. So if you have a particular stock in mind, you've spoken to someone about it, this is probably the best place to go straight to that particular stock. So for the purposes of this video, it's going to be 0. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys is basically how this graph works. All this is basically just the stock price over a period of time that has just been displayed as a up and down graph. You can change the way this graph looks, but first and foremost, what I will do is actually hit this, which is expand to full screen. So this just gives you guys a clearer view of what's actually happening. You can zoom in or out. So all that's going to do is just zoom out on the time. So as you can see here, they're showing in 10-minute increments. Let's zoom out a little bit and get a broader picture of actually what's going on with this particular stock. So as you can see, as soon as you zoom out, you're getting a vastly different understanding of what the stock's actually doing. Now, once you've done that, you can then just actually use your mouse to grab on the graph and go left and right. Okay, that's going to display the graph in real time and show you, a more accurate representation of what's actually happening. Okay, so the next main feature on this graph, and that is a vital way of sort of, just getting an idea on exactly how much the stock is dropping or increasing in that time is hitting this drawing tool. So you can drop down that menu. I like to use the measure. Okay. So what that does is enable you to pick a point on the graph. So let's just pick at 1400. So 2 p.m. You can click on it. Then it will show you a line and you can pick a point to the loss. Or the dip, or exactly a point in the graph that you would want to see. Okay, so I've just picked this low point here just because I find that's going to be interesting. Now, once you click on the second point, the actual line disappears. But if you go back up to here, you've just now measured the difference between that line. So from that point, it had dropped $2.57. Which is 1.8%. So let me do that again, okay? So let's start over here at 12 o'clock and we'll go to 2 o'clock, 1400. So during that period, it dropped 55 cents, which is 0.39%. So when you're looking at a graph like this, guys, and you're a bit lost, obviously you can see the graph on the right here, but just with the naked eye, it's quite hard to get an exact understanding of how far something's dropped over a period of time. Using that measure tool is pretty handy as well. I find that to be easy to use. A lot of these things along the top here are quite technical. This is not really something that I've looked too deep into, but there are a couple of things I've found straight away. You can change the amount of, if you go to here, if you go to 2, so you can actually change what you see here. So if you just actually go one by one, you'll see the graph on its own, but you can actually add more squares. So you can actually make 3 by 3 squares if you need to. And you can add a different stock as well. So I've got 0 charting there, but if you add in Aristocrat, maybe another one here, I might add in Facebook. You can actually change what you see at any given time. So you can compare more than one stock against each other. As you can see here, these are in a candlestick format. So I might try and go back to this here. If I go back to this here, bear with me, guys. I'm still trying to learn it myself. Let's try and find out how to make this into a candlestick. Might drop this a bit lower and see if we can find out how to do that. Chart type. Okay, there we go. So baseline. So you can actually change it to a candle, which is here. Okay, so that displays it slightly differently. So if we just expand that again, now it's in a candle. And if you want to change it to any other type of graph, you can hit chart type. Okay, so let's try this. Let's go to a colored bar, see what that looks like. Okay, so it's not much different. What about mountain? Okay, cool. So I'm someone who actually prefers this type of a graph, more of a line graph. As we're all different, play around with that, see what you actually like and what's easy for you. But guys, that's probably enough of the graph. We drop that there. So now that we're on zero, as you can see here, let's actually look and try and buy some of that stock. So now, guys, what's actually going to happen is if you actually go into the buy section, drop the advanced and the info. So you want to see as much as you can. So guys, as I mentioned earlier, this is significantly different than what you're used to. This is a CFD. So with CFDs, they are generally leveraged. Okay. So as you can see here, it's a 1-to-5 leverage. So that basically means that when if you're actually looking to invest in 10 shares, the total price for those 10 shares would be nearly $1,400. Okay. As you can see here. However, because this is leveraged 1-to-5, they only require you as the investor to purchase 1/5 of that total price. Okay. So effectively what you're doing is you're getting, nearly $1,400 worth of value for 1/5 of that price, which is $270. Okay. So you initially think to yourself, oh, that's fantastic. Like I'm investing, I'm able to make big time investments for only 1/5 of the price. However, guys, if your contract for difference, if this particular investment drops significantly in value, as you can sort of see over that period of time of the graph, if it drops significantly, even though you've only, used $270 of your actual money, you could stand to lose $1,400. Okay. On the contrary as well, if you've invested $271 at a 1-to-5 leverage, you could stand to win $1,400 or actually profit $1,400. Okay. So, CFDs at that type of leverage can be, really good, but at the same time, they could be really, really bad for you. They're a volatile type of a thing. So that's where it differs significantly between a standard type of investment where, you're purchasing X amount of stock that you then own for that exact price. Okay. So, I would, heed with a little bit of caution when it comes to this sort of stuff, guys. You might only be able to pocket $270 initially to buy 10 stock of zero, or to not even buy it, just to track the price of it, I should say. But you could potentially stand to lose 5 times that at that leverage. Now, leverages are all going to change. Stock, depending on the stock or the Forex or the crypto, whatever you're looking to invest in. Make sure that you drop this info down and you see the leverage, guys, because that could be 1-to-10, that could be 1-to-3. So be very aware of exactly what you guys are doing. But, it's a very different thing. So as long as you're aware of it, then, you can account for it and be prepared for it. That's kind of what I always think. Guys, so the other thing too is when you go to purchase something, so let's just say we're following through with this purchase of zero. This contract for difference is going to be the price difference between what you've bought it for now and what you sell it for. Okay. So if you want to set, a close, so by doing a buy, you're actually opening it. If you want to set a close from the start, you can. So this tab here is a close at profit. Okay. So if you click that, you can actually say, you can put a price in. So if I put $150 in, the current share price is $135 as shown here. So I could put in a sale, a buy at that it would close at $150. Okay. So that way you don't necessarily need to track it you can kind of just allow it to sell itself once it gets to a certain price. Now, you can also put a close at loss as well. So what I would do if I was actually going to be using this a lot, I would actually just set a close and a close at profit and a close at loss. So that way I'm not having to, fully check it every single day that I may lose big money. I could just close the position at a loss and close it at a profit as well. That way I can just wipe my hands clean of what I'm doing. But guys, that's pretty much really what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Just to really hopefully have dumbed it down enough that most people have understood this. If you want me to sort of explain anything further going forward, if there's anything that you've sort of had a particular trouble with or you want to learn how to do it, drop a comment below, guys. I'd be really interested in just sort of getting to know this platform further myself. Obviously, by me doing these videos, not only am I potentially helping you guys, but I'm actually learning about it myself, which is really cool as well. But guys, as always, I will see you on the next one. Thank you.